The PCI Council has categorized the potential risk to evidence reliability and assessment assurance. Basically what they're saying is for these different types of testing methods that are utilized, if you're doing it remotely, this is the impact on evidence, reliability, and assessment assurance. And so when they talk about interviews, they say that the potential of risk from remote interviews is low to medium. And the reason they say that is because you can conduct an interview with a subject remotely. You can do that over telephone or a video call, and you can talk to that person just like if you were in person with them. But they indicate the reason that they do say low to medium risk to the evidence reliability is because you can miss visual cues from interviewees that could indicate uncertainty or an incomplete response. You might have a reduced ability to integrate interviews with guided walkthroughs of the environment where the interviews can be enhanced and you can learn a lot more as you're talking people through those walkthroughs. And then you're relying heavily on the quality of the audio and video transmission that sometimes creates problems and misunderstandings when you're having a conversation with someone remotely like that. This is why KirkpatrickPrice travels around the world still today, because we do want to meet the people who are responsible for operating your controls. We do want to have those conversations and thoroughly understand what they're doing and how they're doing, not just to produce a quality audit, but to also help your environment be as strong as it possibly can be. These interview impacts are interesting because I remember one time conducting an interview with a group of people in a conference room, and we were talking about policies. Well, that could have been done as easily remotely, right? But I was there that day to do many things, and one of our meetings was to talk about the information security policy with their security committee. And as I was walking out of that room with all of the answers that I collected about their information security policy, one individual walked up to me and he said, you know, we didn't tell you about this thing and this thing and this thing. And I said, oh, yeah, that would have been really helpful. Why didn't you bring that up? And they said, well, it's because that is called a standard and you were asking us about policies. And that was a lesson learned that day because the use of the word policy made them think one thing. Meanwhile, they actually had some of the things I was looking for in place. And if it hadn't been for the conversation after the conversation, I would not have discovered it at that point. And so that's why the council says that there is an impact to the evidence reliability and assurance that comes from the assessment when you're doing it remotely. So these are things to consider, and we need to ensure that we're getting accurate information during those remote or in-person interviews.